Okay, good morning. So part of the video as I can try and repair this 64. So I need to remove this SID chip to then actually put it in the socket, probably with a bunch of the other chips as well. So many videos about replacing chips and soldering and people doing stuff, and my soldering is not that great, so I'm not really going to show it, although essentially I'm going to probably use a gas soldering iron just because it means it's got no wires, it makes it a little bit easier. Solder sucker, a can, which I'm trying to remove bits and pieces, and some flux to actually help with it. So I'll do a video after I've removed the chip. So obviously I need to, where was it, to this chip? Obviously I just need to desolder a bit, so I'm going to use a mixture of the flux and stuff, and hopefully get this removed and clean that up, and hopefully I'll show a bit when that's done. But so many other videos and so many other people have done that, there's no point doing that here, so I should just stop this here for the moment and then be a bit when I've actually managed to get it removed, and hopefully have not destroyed the motherboard.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Just a short follow-up, as I haven't looked at this for a little while. I have actually managed to unsolder some of the bits. Focus doesn't really come in this too well, but it's actually slowly getting there. Just trying to take my time because I'm not used to doing this, and probably can possibly, that's out of focus. But managing to get some of the solder joints away. It's a slow process as I'm not trying to destroy the motherboard. So that's about it for the moment.
A few moments later.
Right, it's a bit of a follow-up video. So I'm still trying to move this SID chip. Made a couple of attempts. So a couple of bits from the previous video. I sort of managed to get a lot of solder off here. Can't really see it. Whoops! I can't really see it too well. But it's sort of coming. That's out of focus. It's coming off, but having aggro getting it. So a mixture of butane soldering iron. I've tried this USB-C one just to try and get it off. And obviously remember solder sucker, just try and get it off as well. And although I've got a lot of it off, it's just becoming a pain, taking a long time. So what I've done is, as I'm probably going to remove a bunch of the other chips, I've just gone down the route of getting a solder remover. So it seems to be a mixture of a pipe. They've got a, I haven't plugged it in yet, little box here where you can actually set up the heat and stuff. This is an RS Components one. It seems to be a reasonable price, not as expensive as some of the others, but still cheap. So obviously they haven't given this to me, I've had to pay for this. But rather than going for some brand I've never heard of on Amazon or AliExpress or wherever, I decided just go for the RS Components one. Just going to give this a go. I've not actually seen a video about how to use it, so I'm just going to give it a little go and then we'll see where I go. So it seems to be when you've got it on, you set a temperature on the box and then push the button and it sets the vacuum thing going, I guess. I think there's a little end in here which seems to be blocked at the moment, so I assume the end of it's just a bit of solder that's going to melt. So I think then I should be able to have a go at this properly. So let me just lost the plug for it already. Plug it in and let's make a start. So I'm just going to pause this a sec while I turn it on. Okay, so I've turned it on. It seems to be a lot of fan noise in here, and then not quite sure what temperature this needs to be set to melt solder. Let me just check on that. Okay, it does seem that when I push the little button here, that it did actually melt the solder, which was sitting in the middle of the edge, trying not to actually burn the end of my finger. So now there's a little hole, so I should be able to melt some of these bits here. So I'm just going to have to move a light over a bit. Let me just put that down before I burn myself, because I probably will at some point. Okay, problem of age, losing eyesight, need to use glasses and a little magnifying glass here so I can actually see what's going on. But it looks like we've got the melting point, so I should be able to. I think that's done something. Last bits off here. Hopefully that's got that one there. Trying to get all the little pins off. Anyway, that gives you an idea of what I'm doing. Just going to pause the video, just see if I can get this chip out. Once I can wiggle it, I'll unpause. Okay, a little bit of an unpause here. So after some bit of aggro, so to work away, there's, I think where I've actually sold this before, there's some solder gone through and some other bits. But basically, after quite a bit of aggro, I had actually managed, let's just see if we can turn the light a little bit. So I've actually managed to finally get it out. So having it upside down, checking just with little sort of spudger bits just to see if I could actually move the chip and then find out which pins caused it to stick. And finally, after doing the last couple of pins, one in the middle, it just finally literally started falling out. So slightly bent pins, but oops, get that to zoom in without nearly. So it's probably not looking too bad. Let's have a look on the other side. I've obviously been mass soldering stuff, so I think probably should be able to give that a clean up, but I don't think at the moment that's too bad, and hopefully I've not destroyed any of the traces, but we shall have a look. I will add, sorry, another bit. I will add after messing around with this, using a mixture of these, although they were working, probably because of what I've done previously, it was causing a lot of aggro to actually get it out. And although it's just taken me about 20-30 minutes, I've actually, of slowly working, I finally got this out, which is better than it was before, which was, there's little snippets of the video, it was just taking ages and ages and ages. So let's just pause there for a minute. Okay, so a little bit earlier, just had a bit of a clean up. So bit of what is it? Alcohol, and some cotton buds. It's around here somewhere. The one I was using. So there's a lot of dirt. Obviously, I used a bit of flux to try and get this off earlier. So done a little bit this earlier. But one thing that's always worth doing, because I was faffing around so much with this, is some continuity checks before I actually put or solder the sockets in. So because I was faffing around a lot. So for instance, we've got one over here. If we just follow the path of it, which should be somewhere around here. That's the one. So that works. That goes on the other side of the board. This one should be around here somewhere. Yep. There's one over here. That should work. I think the ones over this side were actually okay. So I had a look at some of these earlier. Oh, that one's got a bit of scratching. So, but that one works. Oh, that goes off somewhere else. What else we got? Anyway, generally, I think the ones over this one was okay. I think I checked this earlier. We've got this one over here, which is sort of next to it. Oops, where's that? somewhere. Where did that one go? Oops, lost it. This one I think was it this one? This one? This one? Oh, over there. So without the magnifying glass, which obviously I'm using here, I can't see the rest of it. We've got the ones over here. Is that, oh, is it down here? Where does that go? This one? Nope. This one? Nope. Oh, that one over there. So that was okay. So we've got one more here, which should be here. Yep. So those look okay. I don't think anything here is touching. So I think for, oops, that was me just accidentally touching the probes together. But yeah, so that looks okay. The rest of these look okay. This side, where does this one go? That goes over here. Yep. See that? I think that's the everything from that side. And the other side, I think, based on when I was looking at this earlier, oops, nothing on this side, obviously because I wasn't soldering this side, actually looks that bad. So I can see, we can probably just see because I've got the camera there, but everything looks pretty clean on this side. There's a bit of a streak solder coming over this side, but I don't think that's a problem. It's actually just gone slightly down the traces from the looks of that. And in fact, if I squint at it with glasses on, it actually even looking at that, zoomed in, that looks actually pretty clean on that side, so that's fine. And like I said, back on the other side, this looks okay. So some point, looks like, looking on this, I've actually replaced, so I replaced the CPU at some point, so I found the original CPU, but I've also replaced what is this chip as well, which, oh, got it all my way around, I can't read that from here. So should not quite got enough lighting on here. Yeah, that one which died before, which I may need to replace again. I need to actually have a check on that. And then what I'll think I'll do is I'll strip out the Z80. Sorry, Z80? What am I talking about? 6510. I'll strip out the 6510 here, and I'll so socket that, and I'll socket both the CIA chips. Sorry, I think this is somewhere around here. Oh, that's a PLA, I think. I think I should replace this one previously. No, that's still got the original solder. That's got the original solder when it was on. So I replaced this chip previously. I replaced that chip, and it looks like possibly I've actually replaced this one as well. What's this? Oops. Oh, okay. Maybe the kernel ROM, I may have actually socketed that at some point, which is a bit bizarre. I didn't realise I would have done that. Anyway, that's it for the moment. I'll probably just do another next bits of this video, so I'm trying to do this fairly in one go as well. I'll just do a couple of bits where I'll just socket these chips. Come back, socket the memory as well. I do actually have a capacitor. I do actually have a capacitor kit, so I may actually replace all the capacitors. Although when I checked them, I think they're okay. But I'll bought it just in case, so yeah, if I come to it. Anyway, let's just stop this for the moment, and then the next section of this video will be the replacements.
A few moments later.
Okay, so got the next bit of video. I've decided when I was trying to load some stuff, there's some weirdness happening on the tape where things didn't start correctly. Not quite sure what's related to, so I think probably what I'll do is take the CIA chips, and I just realised here these have got two different names. So 6526. So this one's got 1384. Okay. So, and this one's got 1984. So obviously these two chips were made in different batches. So that one says 1984. Sorry, I guess 1984 or 19. Okay. Anyway, there's a breakdown of whatever that means. So I'll probably take those two out, and I think possibly, as I've desoldered this before, and what happened last time when you got destroyed by the power supply, I had to replace the CPU. So maybe I should take both the CIAs out so I can switch them around just to see if the weirdness acts. I've been trying to identify one of these weird, and might just unsocket the CPU as well, so we can stick that. Also, desolder CPU, so we can stick that in the socket as well. I've bought a load of sockets and stuff, so we've got those, and then can do that. So again, as per the other bit of video a couple of minutes ago, I'm going to use the heat gun, which I haven't actually turned on yet. Heat gun, desoldering gun, to try and get those chips out. And I have to check on what chips I've got. I don't think I've got any of these CIAs, but just because of things I never replaced in the past. But at least I can socket them and then try them out and then go from there. So just going to stop it for the moment and then start again when I come back. Like I said, lots of videos like Adrian's digital basement, where he does lots of this desoldering stuff. There's no point in me repeating all the stuff, and he does a much better job of it than I do, or possibly do. So I'll just stop that for the moment.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Alright, back for the next bit. So after spending some hours trying to get our desoldering gun to work, well, get it to work, but how to use it properly and not destroy the board, I finally extracted everything. So I started on the I think it was this CIA, that's it, well, one of these two, because I can't remember now which videos, but yeah, I was working on it. So as you can see, I've managed to extract two CIAs on this. They seem to be fairly clean. I also just need to go over there. I think I went over, oh actually I've done the SID first, didn't I? So I took the SID out. So you see that actually looking fairly clean. CPU I've actually decided to remove. Yep, okay, I can see there's a lot of spots. I need to clean this up. I did actually replace the CPU on this previously, so obviously when it died back in the 80s, I'd replaced it with my teenager soldering skills at the time. Not that they're actually much better now, but obviously I use there's lots of flux based solder I used originally, so I think this will clean up. CPU took a little bit of effort to get out, and I decided to remove both CIAs. So when that sort of dodginess with the testing sort of showed up some weird errors and stuff, so I've decided to remove those so I can switch them around. So I've got sockets, so I shall stick lots of sockets in, and so that's fairly clean. Whoops, actually it's PLA. I think PLA, whatever. It looks like I've replaced this one previously as well. So if we go just to the underside of the board. Oh no, it's wrong. What was that? Okay. Looks like I've resoldered the kernel ROM at some point and stuck it in a socket. Don't know why I didn't stick anything else in the socket, but anyway, that was by the by. So got the underside of the two CIAs here. So that looks very clean. I should do some continuity checks, tests, and then the CPU. Yeah, CPU's So underneath this looks okay. So see the flux, as I said, went through originally. So this actually does look fairly clean. Just going to need to check the tracks and stuff, so I'll make sure I didn't break anything, because I think there's a track here which runs. Oops, right, fingered away. There's a track here which runs up here and all the way down the side here. Obviously, I've been trying to get it out, the chip out, so I'll have a check, do that, and as I say, I'll clean this all up, and then I'll do the next bit of video after I've cleaned this up. I might do a bit of continuity, which you'll see in a minute, or I might not, which you may not, and then look at socketing it. So I'll just stop that for the moment.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Just next little bit to this video, as I've got time, just started socketing it. So I've got my thin solder, cleaned up the board, just done the corner pins of each one, just taped them down just a little bit, just to get the corner bits down, just so it's sorted. And then what I've just started to do is solder them all on. Done CIAs already, so you can just see that. Got to clean the flux off and stuff, so obviously it's a little bit brown. And there's some flux I've sort of spread along. Oh, that's out of focus. Yeah, you can just about see I've added a bit of flux on there. Probably a bit too much, but I haven't really got a proper applicator because I'm using a pot of sort of solid stuff, whatever this is. It seems to work, and then I'm having a go. So to be honest, I haven't cleaned those off. I'll do a bit, but at the moment, considering I haven't soldered anything for so many years, well, I'm actually quite pleased. Oh, no focus, no focus. But I'm actually quite pleased with the way that's done at the moment. So just going to stop it here whilst I carry on.
A few moments later.
Right, so finished. I've used a bit of isopropyl alcohol to clean it off. Okay, there's a bit of stuff because I was just using cotton buds and the alcohol to clean it off. So I need to work out how best to get the flux off. So there's a little bit of stuff around. So if we have a look, where we've got CPU socket. So okay, there's a little brown. Focus. So there's little brown bits of solder flux, but that all looks to be fairly okay. I'll have a quick check of this bit over here. Make sure that looks okay. I think that's just a bit of cotton buds there rather than anything else. Got the SID chip, a bit more mess there, so that's where the SID chip will go. And then we've got two bits for the CIAs with still bits of cotton, so I'm just going to use a pair of tweezers just to go through and extract those bits. But those actually solder joints, to me, don't look too bad, considering I haven't soldered for like, I don't know, 40 years or something. So I was quickly just going through, so that's not too bad. Quick check on that pin there, because I just realised that's not looking great. So, but yeah, so I'll do that, and then we'll do some continuity tests to actually make sure I haven't solder things together, and the fact that everything should everything on this side should then actually go to where it should go, and I haven't actually done anything bad. And then I should hopefully be able to put all the chips I originally desoldered, which are here, including the bad SID, back in again. And then just do a quick test to make sure it's not any worse than it was. So let's just stop it there for the moment.
A few moments later.
Okay, cleaning flux off, I just found using the alcohol, and I actually discovered I had an old toothbrush in the bathroom, and I thought, oh no, soft bristle brush will work. And actually, it's actually cleaned all that flux off really quite well. There's a couple of little specks left, but I'm not really too worried about that. So you can actually see the soldering there. The joint I thought wasn't too bad. It's just got a slight lack of solder, but I think that's actually okay. So I'm not going to fuss with that and do too much. But yeah, little solder brush. Again, that's an old chip. That's the kernel, which I think I've done a long time ago. So I'll just leave that for a moment, and you can see the CPU there. That actually with the with the an old toothbrush actually works really well. So that was actually quite a handy find.
A few moments later.
Okay, on to the next section. So I did use the multimeter to do some testing just to make sure that everything's soldered. So basically what I just done was take it and just run it across each pair of pins. So just basically leapfrog over each time just to make sure nothing was done. I've put the original chips back in, so this is the original SID that doesn't work properly. That's 6510, which may or may not work properly. The original CIAs, which may or may not work properly. I can't remember which way around they were. I could probably go back to the video, the earlier section I recorded earlier, but I'm going to have to test them either way round to see which way round they go. So I was just going to put the test bit in. What we've got, we have high, low, low game. So I think I left this on. Where's it gone? Oh, I've lost it. High, low, low game. So Dr. 64 test and SID test. Let's just turn down the audio so it doesn't actually overload the bits. Don't know if it's going to work. So this is the first time put the test bed back on. I said it's the first time I've turned it on since I've removed the 4 sockets. Sorry, the 4 chips and resocketed them. Didn't really clean off the solder them. Push them back in again after straightening out some pins. So I just thought I'd see if it actually started up. So here we go. Here goes maybe something, or maybe nothing. And let's go for it. Oh, so we've got voltage. Oh, it actually started. Wow, that's impressive. Have we hung? Oh, no. And, oh yeah, this actually cycled round. I remember now. We cycled round and then at some point it got stuck. So, let's see. So it says cassette, serial bus and user port is bad. So maybe there is an issue. Maybe is these 2 chips being the wrong way, wrong way round. Cassette, serial bus and user port. I don't know what I've done with the keyboard testy thing because I've done something with it and I don't know what I've done with it, which is really, really annoying. So in amongst a bunch of stuff which is behind me, I think it's there still in a packet somewhere, but I really, really don't know what I've done with it. So normally it got down to a point and then it did fail once it got past. That's a bit weird, it sort of shimmied on the screen there slightly. That's a bit odd. Oh, why has that gone white? Oh, and this is a bit, it hung, so it actually hung on serial bus. I remember that because it hung on the serial bus last time as well. So I think I'm just going to check from the video I recorded previously which of these chips was round. So that was the black one, and that's a slightly matte black one. They're very slightly different colours. I've seen them in other people's videos, but there seem to be slightly different colour ones. So let me just. Oh, yeah, that really has gone wrong. Wow, that sort of certainly did fail badly. Slightly warm. CPU is SID chip is warm. CPU is slightly warm. Well, that's impressively. Oh, press reset and we come back to. Oh, not sure why the picture's just gone a bit shaky. That is a bit weird. Let's just turn that off. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. That is really not happy. That's a certainly different outcome from what I was expecting. It seems to have got stuck on 0 page. Little red light on there, whatever that is. Let's reset that again. Colour RAM, okay, that's weird. Honestly, I haven't touched anything to do with the SID chip. Just left that as is. That's a bit weird when it's actually done that. It seems to pick up on the cassette. Let's just turn this off. Let's just unplug the power. Just make sure I don't make it bad. Remove some chips the way you're not meant to do them, with a slightly large screwdriver. Let's find a slightly smaller one. Here. Right, let me just pause that for 1 sec. Right, I have a smaller screwdriver. Let's just see if we can slot that underneath there. Let's do that one as well. That one seems to be pushed in slightly more. Let's make it a little bit thinner. You need a proper chip removal tool at some point. Under there. Okay, let me just pause this sec. Rather than me watching me faff around and get some chips out. Okay, back again. After a bit of faffing around, so I switched the 2 CIA chips around. So now we've got the matte black one over here, the glossy one over here. Really must find out what I've done with that keyboard tester bit, because that'll probably help. But also I misplaced it when I opened the package originally and took it apart and didn't use it for weeks. Anyway, let's see what happens when, oops, the sun's in my eyes. Just cuts it across a bit. So let's turn it on now. Everything's plugged in. And let's see what it does this time. So it's still got bad looking display. That just got stuck on the serial bus again, as it was doing before I socketed everything. It's a bit weird that the display has actually just done that though. Maybe both CIAs are bad. That's a possibility to think of. Maybe the weirder. It's done that. How bizarre. Okay, further investigation here, I think. Let's turn it back on. Let's just do one more, just see what it does. Oh. Okay, different colour. Colour RAM. Oh, okay. Now it's thinking the colour RAM's bad. Ah, that would make sense. Okay. So I didn't realise the colour RAM. I wonder which one of these chips is the colour RAM. I'd have to have a look. What was it, the low end of one of them? Okay, didn't realise, like I said, wasn't really paying attention. The fact that it said colour RAM was bad, so that would account for why we have the weird colour effects. They're still stuck in the serial bus, so I do wonder whether something else is bad. Okay, let's just turn it off for a second. Right way back to the chip for a bit. Where is the little stack of chips I had? How can I? Oh dear. Don't know how I can lose stuff. But actually, I do know how I can lose stuff. Oh no, there they are. Oops, I've lost a chip. Didn't drop any more chips, I hope. Not that I can see, so that's something at least. Okay, so what have I got here? Something I can't read. Oh, that's a Commodore Amiga chip. That must be a that must be an old ROM. That must be a 1.2 or something. Anyway, that's an Amiga chip. Let's just stick. Actually, let's just leave that. Where to put it? Let's just put it down there for a sec. Bad VIC chip. That was the dead VIC chip, so I won't worry about that one. What else I've got here? This is a. Let's just change this back to. Where has it gone? I have. That one. That's what I was after. So what have we got? We've come in. Oh, come on. 6510. Yep, 6510. So this is one I removed before. Don't know what state this is in, but certainly when it got electrocuted, that was one of the last ones. So I just put it on my little silver foil bits here. In a moment. What else we got? This is a kernel ROM, I think. 901.227.03. So I think that is a kernel ROM. Again, I think that's that may have been killed. Over there. This, I believe, is a SID chip, because I remember there was a SID chip here. So I'll test this out anyway at some point. So once I get past a bit. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Focus. Focus. Oh, I need a better camera. Well, that's a 6581 anyway, because I can see it says 6581 on it. So, oh, and it's missing a pin off the end. So, then that's probably dead. And then we've got some RAM chips. So I think that was an old RAM chip. So I won't worry about that one. So I think that was probably dead. And then we've got a few more RAM chips. So I'll just go have a check, find out what the colour RAM is. And hopefully might be able to replace that chip. So I think this is dragging on for a bit anyway. So let's just go for the next step. Okay.